What's happening, everybody? We're back. It is me, resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington.
And the swaggy blerd, Winston A. Marshall.
We are here for the episode 12 review of Harley Quinn on the DC Universe. If you have not seen this episode yet, come on back, because it's going to be spoilers, man, because we got to...
This is one you definitely want to go watch first before you leave. Maybe you were just like, fuck it, I'm just going to watch this and then I'll watch it. Go watch it.
Listen, we're going to give you a minute to pause it. Okay, not a minute, hot second, because you don't want to spoil us for this one. Did you fucking burp? I was going to give you I was going to give people a moment. Give you a moment. Well, there go your moment.
Better out than in, sir.
Well, so we can pick back up. The trees are destroying Gotham. Now, if you remember the last review, I was like, yo, is this shit really happening, or is it like a fear toxin? But like, no, these trees are murdering people, bro.
Full on mutagen. They are fully mutated. So you get there, Harley's trying to bouncing around, running away, trying to like not get killed. Poison Ivy's out here putting her hands up, being like, hey, y'all, like, whatever, trying to be like, can y'all stop, please? And it's not working at all.
Then Dr. Psycho said, can you do the little thing to stop with the trees?
Yeah, well, then when Poison Ivy says it doesn't work, Harley goes, well, maybe they need a scolding. Stop it, that's bad. Right now, you stop.
You stop it, you trees. And it's really because it's like, Ivy realizes that her meta abilities won't work anymore.
Because, well, it's not that they don't work directly.
They won't work with the trees.
Them because they are mutated. So.
They're mutated through her own pheromones. Also, remember, because of the fear toxin and everything. So they're mutated through that. And so the whole issue with that, Nick, you have Commissioner Gordon talking to Batman on the roof was like, so...
Well, he was like, oh, before he won't even turn the bat signal on, he just sees all and he goes, oh, it's getting dire out there. It sounds like there's only one thing that we can do. We have to call in an airstrike, blow it on a hill. And Batman shows up and goes, Gordon, what are you doing? The Justice League is coming. No airstrikes. He goes, oh, man.
He was like, well, what about tanks? No
tanks. You evacuate the park and nothing else. And then they go like, so, Commissioner, what we do? It's like, well, evacuate because apparently we're not allowed to use tanks.
Can you imagine that being somebody else just being, can't use no tanks? Because you gotta have that eye roll, that head rolls, and can't use no tanks. Because we want to roll tanks in this bitch. But then the Justice League shows up.
Right before the Harley and the Crew's about to get killed, the Justice League shows up and they annihilate the trees. Like the Flash gives him the whirlwind, the Green Lantern's chopping trees in half, Wonder Woman slapping her bracelets together, which are comments made by Ivy and Harley.
Like, I hate how she can pull off those big clunky bracelets.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like, cool, thanks for the save.
The Green Lantern's there too. John Stewart.
He was chopping up trees. Okay, and Superman set him on fire with his laser vision. I mean, they make short work of the trees, right? So they're like, cool, thanks for that, and then all of a sudden Harley is wrapped up by the Flash in like a cable, and then they're all being held by John's ring. They're like, yo, this is your fault, we're sending you too. You want to go ahead and say it, Clark?
The Phantom Zone!
So they open it up right before they go, they're like, we swear we didn't do this. Poison Ivy puts
the lasso
of truth on her, be like, ask me the truth. And they're like, did you do this? It's like, no, I didn't do this. I occasionally, what she say? She's like, did she say I watched The Bachelor or some shit like that?
She was like, I was somewhat interested in the jazz festival.
Then she was like, oh, that hurts. I was very interested in the jazz festival. I hate paper straws. I think they get soggy and shit. I take way too long showers.
So before the trees, because Ivy decided to make a call to somebody. Before the trees, the whole situation with the Justice League, does she make a call?
Not yet. Not yet. This is afterwards because that's once they get stuck.
Right.
So, long story short, they're like, okay, well, if you didn't do it, who did? That's when the Queen of Fables book shows up and all the Justice League gets sucked in, and Superman's like, you're not going to get away with this. He's holding on by the last bit of a string. And she's like, shut up, sexy. Bah! Piece of shit of. They're all trapped inside this fairy tale book. So then she was like, well, fuck y'all, I'm done with this. Flicks a magic bean. They get shot up a beanstalk, and now they're dealing with the Giant.
Right, that's what they're like. First of all, the Giant, if you hear him, you're like, is this just big-ass Bane? Because I told that wasn't like, this is a big-ass Bane.
Same voice actor for sure. But long story short, before the Giant shows up, Cy has a phone in his foot. Ivy goes, I got a plan. Let me borrow your phone real quick. And he's like, is it a local call? Just give me your goddamn phone. Calls the phone. Kite Man's on the other line, literally designing a kite, which is just...
And talking to his roommate is like, so what should go here? Nigga, the other line! Like, what the fuck you think this is? Like, he's got 3 out of 4 lines there. Like, the other line should go there.
Hold on, it's my girlfriend. Yep. All right, babe, got you covered. All right, love you.
She didn't say it back.
Well, because her coworkers are there, I get it or whatever. But I brought this up. It was Cy's phone, right? How does he know his girlfriend is calling?
And I told him the thing is, every time his phone rings,
He probably just assumes
he's like, "Hey, babe," and it's probably not Ivy. So he got lucky this time that it was Ivy, because he's like, "Don't type man seem like the type of dude to be like, it's my babe, it's my babe." Oh, sorry, it's my mom. I thought it was my babe. He seems like the type of dude that does that.
Probably.
So then this motherfucker's about ready to go into action. He opens up his kite in the house
and starts tripping on shit because he really should have just waited until he got to the balcony. So now the giant shows up. They're running around, and Harley's trying to put it together. Like, wait a minute, you knew Kite Man's number by heart? Like, how did you know that shit? Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, Poison Ivy goes, "Don't you wonder how big that giant's dick is?"
And Ivy was like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah,
Harley was like, "Yes, I do, but we'll get to that later." Like, first of all, this is only in Harley Quinn fashion like this show can do. Wondering how big the giant's dick is, because the giant's dick comes up later in conversation.
It does come up later that the Queen of Fables, like, she eventually would, like, because they escape out of this, right? And the Queen of Fables
talking
is
to
like,
the Joker.
Talking to the Joker, be like, "What? I thought you said you took care of it." She's like, "I did. I put him on the beanstalk. I thought that big dick giant would take care of it." So it answers our question that I guess the giant does have a big dick.
Got a big old...
So Kite Man shows up just in time. Just in time squirts hot sauce into the giant's eyes, which knocks
It's
him out.
Sriracha. Not Sriracha.
Sriracha. He then proceeds to catch the entirety of the crew. And he's like, "Hey, hold on, guys. We're going to have to crash land. We're carrying a little extra LBs. Not you, babe. You're hot as always."
He's like, "Catch a few extra LBs." And first of all, King Shark is like, "I used to always wonder what the purpose of the kite was, but now I know."
I know it's quite majestic.
It's quite majestic.
So they're back on the ground. More trees are showing up. Or Queen of Fae. Wait.
Also, before then, Harley takes over a tank because the tank comes in. Harley takes over a tank, and she's like, "Yo, the Legion of Doom are behind this shit." So she's about to blow up the Legion of Doom's headquarters. Right before she shoots, a missile comes, and Clayface is like, "My God, this tank is amazing!" and shoots invisible missiles.
Oh, there wasn't even a missile. It just explodes.
Right.
So she was about to hit the button.
But that's what I'm saying. He was like,
"My God, it shoots invisible missiles." But actually, the Joker's whole tower plan that he had said episodes back actually happens with the TV popping out and everything. The whole city's being taken over at this point. There are more trees that are a problem. They're like, "We can't get to him if we don't get past those trees." So Poison Ivy sees the hose where the mutagen was.
She sees the water coming out of it and realizes that's how they mutated.
So her and Kite Man run off together to get the mutagen.
Which, by the way, Kite Man does no cardio. Kite Man ran less than 40 fucking feet. That nigga was like,
Kite Man doesn't normally run. Kite Man uses kites.
Less than 40 feet. And so before, now, Kite Man knows what's about to happen. Ivy knows what's about to happen. And right before Kite Man sees Ivy drink this water, he says, "Ivy, would you do me the favor?" And she's
Let
like,
me be Mr. Poison Ivy.
Ivy's like, "There's nothing there."
Yeah.
So he proposes to her. And Ivy's like, "Oh, shit."
She's like, okay, you know what?
Let's talk about this after the apocalypse.
After the apocalypse is over. And he goes, "Not a no. Hell yeah."
Okay, so I just want to bring this up real quick. If you remember since the beginning, we saw this when we first started seeing Kite Man. Winston, because of course we have had access to this for the longest. Winston has kept telling me week after week after week, Kite Man's the dude. Kite Man, Kite Man, Kite Man. You got to see why Kite Man. He's going to hell yeah. And then you just see the hell yes every time they come in and you're like, okay, I got it. And so Ivy takes the mutagen and she explodes and she gets bigger and like she starts fucking up the trees, but she's apologizing the whole time.
The whole time she's doing it. So the first one, she picks up above her head and breaks its back like Bane, and you see the tree rings. She goes, "Oh my God, it was just a kid." This is what I'm talking about, that intelligent humor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just little things like that the tree rings to signify.
Well, because also anytime you see different action situations and scenarios where you have the hero have the killing soldiers, and sometimes they go into this child soldier, they're like, "Damn, he's just a kid." And so it played off in this, and then Ivy is out here fucking up trees.
Like, everyone breaks an arm. Sorry. Stabs another one. Sorry. Like, just the whole way through, right? That's when Harley Quinn and everybody else bum rush the castle, and the Queen of Fables comes out, and she releases the big bad wolf that was inside. That was the grandmother wolf from Little Red Riding Hood. They're chasing it. You think that Clayface tries to pretend
they run away. First of all, before they're trying to run away, and Clayface is like, "I've got it," and he turns
over to the grandpa wolf.
A Jewish grandpa.
Why are you doing this? I don't understand. First of all, why is he Jewish? I don't know. It was a hunch. It was a shot by shot.
And shit, why don't you stop this smuggler? And the fucking wolf mauls this nigga.
It just completely goes at him, right? So eventually, the wolf catches up to Harley. The wolf bites down and cuts away. The wolf comes back to Queen of Fables. It's like, oh, did you dismember her head? Let me see the head. Opens it up. There's her head just like, with blood splattered on it, right? All of a sudden, it stands up. It explodes with Harley Quinn that she had actually hollowed it out. She bashes her one time. Her head flies clean off. And she goes, damn, I didn't know it was going to pop off like that.
First of all, the Queen of Fables' last words was shit.
Yep. And then someone we forgot, because when the wolf comes up, it's like, see, we did it. We took over the world talking to the gingerbread with half a head. He's like, you ain't got to suck dick under bridge anymore. unless you really enjoy it. And the gingerbread man goes...
So, when you first get introduced to the Queen of Fables, like episode 5 or 6, when she's stuck in the book still, the gingerbread man's like, I finally stopped sucking dick on the bridge. Out of all the jobs that a gingerbread man doing, he out here sucking dick under bridges.
Hey, man. Well, long story short, another tree comes to attack. Poison Ivy saves him at the last minute, and Harley...
She catches Harley, because Harley was about to get eaten by the tree. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to Harley like, I have a handful of friends and all this and that.
And she's just like, yo, I really love and care about you. You've been my best friend through anything. She was like, wouldn't it be so funny if I like put you in my mouth and pretended to eat you right now? Boom! And there is a fucking massive harpoon that shoots through her body that is shot by the Joker, and he just goes, oops, and laughs his maniacal laugh. And then she starts to shrink because the mutagen is flowing out of her, and she eventually dies. And the mutagen all around her makes the flowers grow on the trees and everything around her. And Ivy's gone. Kite Man looks completely distraught, and Harley's just sitting there holding her and screaming at the top of her lungs.
First of all, I like to say, if you can bear with me for a moment, I watched this episode just, for the first time in a while with Winston, and he was like...
I thought you said it was your first time seeing it.
It's the first time, that's what I mean, yeah. First time, sorry. And when I saw it, I didn't know what to expect, and all I saw was a fucking and a tear. They killed Ivy.
And they did a little red herring before, because earlier in the episode we brushed over it. Clayface got shot by a bajillion thorns by one of the trees, and this nigga went into a full death monologue about Juliet. I loved it and I died. And they're like, oh no. And they go, scene! Because of course it's fucking Clayface. A bunch of thorns are going to kill him. He's spitting back out the other side of him. So you were where you thought before, oh god, there was a death early, ended up being this one is real. This one, Ivy actually got hit with the harpoon.
You didn't hold me when they killed Ivy.
No.
You're supposed to hold me.
Because your jaw was a game. The problem was he was ready to start recording right after, because we always, obviously he hadn't seen it yet, but we always like to do it right after we watch it.
Because we can have it fresh in the minds to talk to.
And I didn't know how to tell him to stop fiddling, because it's like pretty much the last 90 seconds of the episode, and he went to go get the sound equipment, and I was like, I wanted to be like, don't move, this is a big deal, but I also wanted to shut the fuck up so I didn't like put him on guard. And when I tell you he had just picked it up and then saw that point and goes, like this nigga literally looked like someone had told him that, it was Old Man Johnson the whole time. Like he's straight
Look at this episode of Scooby-Doo.
That's what I was saying.
We know it is under this ghost mask. Old Man Johnson, and I would have got away from it if it wasn't for you stinking little kids and that damn dog.
So that's the end of episode 12. We've got one more.
This is the penultimate episode. Excuse me.
We have the season finale coming up next. And what would you rate this, man?
Fuck, man, this is a 5 because again, I sound like a broken record saying this week in and week out how every episode since I think it was 9 has stepped up and made it where there are more stakes each episode, and this one the stakes have gotten higher because now Joker killed the most important person to Harley. Like, you would still think like Harley was trying to please him, but after the previous episode she was like, fuck you, dude, it's about my friends who are my family. And to take away the most important person to her, it builds up so much for the season finale. And you have the Justice League who's in the Phantom. You have the Justice League who's stuck in the Queen of Fables book now, technically. You know, it now has to be Harley and her crew to avenge Ivy versus the Joker. For me, this episode was just like, yo, it had the humor, it had the stakes, it had the action, it had everything behind it, and I'm like, man, I just want to cry, and I'm trying not to cry on this thing. Like, why the fuck am I crying over a cartoon? I'm a 5.
Well, I also give it a 5. It's because the show has done an excellent job of really making you feel invested in these characters. Like, yes, you're laughing, but they all matter to us. Like, we've got to know them. There's been excellent character development. The fact that Ivy wanted nothing to do with Kite Man and now is madly in love with him. The fact that Kite Man was kind of a tool, and even though he's still kind of a broy tool, like, he has grown up himself. So to see him get his heart broken, to see Harley, the one person that has been ride or die for her this entire season, to just go out like that, it's a lot. And so I give this show a lot of credit for building these stakes up, for this is a huge loss. And now the same thing that has been plaguing her the whole time, the Joker, has really done a death blow to her, no pun intended, that now Harley has to deal with this.
What's your rating?
Oh, I guess at a 5.
Okay.
In the middle of that.
I just want to make sure I was emotional. All right. But we want to know what you think about it in the comments below. All right. So go ahead, like, subscribe, click on the notification.
Crocodile teal ass nigga. You really sad. You still would have been sad when you said all that. Crocodile ass motherfucker. Go down in the comments. Tell us what you think about it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share this whole thing. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is Jay's YouTube channel. He does reviews and whatnot. Also listen to the Mad Titan podcast. You know, it's Barbershop Talk for Nerds. He covers everything in the Marvel and DC live action animated universes. So come on in the conversation.
Cinematic.
I said live action and animated.
I don't do all animated. I don't do animated. I only did animated on this one because of this. I don't talk about the animated ones on the Mad Titan. I just talk about the TV shows and movies.
Excuse me.
But also, make sure you go to the Blerds in the Hood page. That's where we're doing our show, Blerds in the Hood. And we got some updates coming for Blerd and Gold as well. So go ahead, sign up to Blerds in the Hood also. And then you can tell you
follow the socials. You can see them where they're up here. We don't need to say them out loud. If you can't spell Washington, you literally have it in front of you right now. So good luck.
What if somebody be like, I don't remember how to spell it though?
Then take your bitch ass back to this video and look where it says Mr. J. Washington.
Alright, y'all. We will holler at y'all next week for the finale of Harley Quinn. Take care. We out of here.